What's going on, toy friends? On today's episode, I am on a family holiday down in Canberra. And if you know, Canberra has one of the best toy shops in Australia called the Canberra Vintage Collectible Centre. It's in a suburb called Fyshwick. Now, I went there on the first day of my family and I bumped into Jamie, who is the owner of the store. He was there that day and just had a good chat with him. Just talked about toys, talked about how much the shop had changed since the last time I was there. And that was only a few months ago. So there were new displays, things that had been picked up and bought by customers. So there was a whole bunch of new stuff to look at. But enough of that, guys. Just have a look for yourselves. This place is amazing. So I'm looking around and I see this big tub of McDonald's toys. Now the tub had a sign on it that said $2 each. So of course I started diving in, ripping out all these McDonald's toys, just going through. Maybe I could piece together some that I have or pick up a little collection of some that I didn't have. And the first ones I found were these. These are the 1994 Australian Flintstones. These are for the Flintstones movie. So I got Barney. So Barney's pretty cool, his little race car. And then you got Fred Flintstone. That's pretty awesome. You got Pebble. And you got Bam Bam. Now, one of the cool things I found out about these McDonald's toys is they're a stationary set. So in 1994, these were brought out by McDonald's for a stationary. Barney's actually a sharpener, so you can sharpen your pencil. And then Fred is a funny story because I said to my dad, I said, don't we have something that goes on this Fred Flintstone? And I showed him in a book what it would be, and he said yes, and it was this. It was this giant steak that sits on top of Fred Flintstone's car, and that's actually an eraser. So yeah, funny that Dad kept that after all these years, but if you know my dad, you know. The next one is Bam Bam. Bam Bam actually came with some post-it notes on the back of his Bedrock News that you could pull off. And Pebbles, she's actually like a stencil imprinter. So as you roll it across that back wheel, puts a little stencil into the paper. So that was the first little pickup out of that tub. So started a little pile. So I keep looking in this tub, and I know I've got that set of the Flintstones already in my pile. And there's just so many sets of Flintstones in there. But then I start coming across more Flintstones. So these are the 1994 gadget little toys that came out from McDonald's in Australia. So you've got the pig, which was the garbage bin underneath, and then you've got sort of like the crab lawnmower. So as you push the wheels along, little crab arms open and close as it goes along. So there are two more of these. There's the woolly mammoth, and there's like a bird as well. So they weren't in that tub. So now we're on the hunt to finish this line of the 1994 Australian McDonald's Flintstone gadget toys. Pretty cool. So just a couple of other little McDonald's toys that I found. I found this cool little Duckwing Duck plane. So I know I've seen these around before, but I thought for $2 in the tub, I might as well add it into my pile. Kept digging, found one more of the Duckwing Ducks. This is like a little speeder bike. It's just pretty cool. So there's two more still that I have to find. And I just picked up this random Marvel one. So I'm sure it's McDonald's, but it's the Thing. And there's three more of these to find. So just a couple of McDonald's toys. As I said, they were $2 each. I could have dug for hours. There were so many in there. So from there, I've got my Macca's toys. I made a nice little pile at the front desk, and I said to Jamie, I'll just keep stashing my stuff here that I find. And I turn around, and there's the vintage TMNT cabinet there. So I start having a really good look through there, and there wasn't anything there that I needed for my collection. So right next to the door to that was the 2012 TMNT series, and this was full. This had a lot of figures, a lot of merchandise in there, and there were a couple of figures in that line that I wanted to pick up. So the figures that I added to the collection today is I add the Rat King, which is one of my favorite figures in the villain line, but the Rat King itself, it didn't get that much screen time in the 2012 series. The next figure I add is this cool Razar figure. So Razar from the 2012 series, he just looks so cool. And the last one, which is probably my favorite out of the lot, this is what's his name? Spider Bites. So a figure with no leg articulation, really minimal arm articulation. It's just a hard plastic, but all his spider legs, they all move, so you can have him posed in all different kind of ways. So 2012 Turtles, not at all going for the complete set of this, just really filling out the those one characters that are pretty cool. Isn't he cool? So yeah, three more TMNT 2012 figures into the collection. So yeah. So there I am. I'm filming all the shelves, trying to capture this footage for you guys to enjoy, and I'm down on my hands and knees trying to capture the bottom shelves of cabinets, and I see this Tupperware container, and all it's got written on there is MIMP, and I'm like, oh, Monsters in My Pocket. If you don't know now, I am trying to complete the entire series 1 of Monsters in My Pocket. So I asked Jamie, pull that tub out, went to the front, had a bit of room on the front counter, and just poured out these Monsters in My Pockets. There was about 40 to 50 there, and I just started going through all of them, and luckily enough, I found 5 that I needed. So a whole bunch of them there. The Vampiress, the Witch, got the Invisible Man. So another 5 added into the collection. This leaves me with 6 Monsters in My Pocket from the first series. to complete that whole series. I've had a pretty good run with these lately, so I was pretty happy to pick up 5 more. So if you know me by now, a trip to any toy store is not complete without finding something Star Wars to add into our collection.
Do it.
So I only picked up this little cheap, it's a 3-figure pack from the Star Wars Force Awakens. The pack was open, but the reason I got this was because, one, you got 3 figures, not great figures. You got BB-8, which for some reason I just don't have a figure of at all. And you got the two sort of Jakku thugs that were trying to steal BB-8 at the start of that movie. Now, I can see that Hasbro is never going to make these in any vintage collection line. So I think the only way you're ever going to get these figures is in this pack. So picked up this little pack, opened, very cheap. And that's my Star Wars added to the day. Yeah, just got to get that Star Wars feeling. So my pile's getting bigger, time is running out, but I had to go back and look at something that I've been really wanting to focus on for a little bit lately. And it's kind of a new line that I've been delving into, and I do have to blame the Wolverine Deadpool movie, which was fantastic, by the way. And it is the 1994 Toy Biz X-Men figures. So I decided to myself that I wanted to start picking up some of these cool figures, and the CVCC had a whole bunch of them. They had them loose, they had them complete, and they had them complete off card. So the first one I got was Gambit, my all-time favorite X-Men ever since I was a kid. So you know how stoked I was watching Deadpool and Wolverine to finally see him represented the way he should be.
You know how long I've been waiting for this? Woo, I'm about to make a name for myself here.
I don't think you guys walk away from this.
So Gambit, he comes with this really terrible plastic cape, which I'm just afraid to move because of the age of it now, that it might break. His weapon's a little bent, but look, he's off card. You get to enjoy the back of the card and all the beautiful figures that came out in that line, and it was a really good deal. So Gambit was one that I picked up straight away and popped in my pile. So look, Deadpool wasn't there, so I didn't get to finish the trio, but I did get a nice loose 1994 Toy Biz Wolverine. So I just love the colors. I love that they put him into this in the movie because he just looks so damn good. So there he is, Hugh Jackman. No, it's not. So cartoon representation of Wolverine. sits perfectly with my Gambit figure. So I needed a villain, and I was tossing up between Apocalypse, but he wasn't complete. Mr. Sinister, he wasn't complete. And Juggernaut, he wasn't complete either. But in the end, I went with Juggernaut. And the only reason I went with Juggernaut was because, again, I got a card back. So I got the card back that Juggernaut comes on, the beautiful color and the artwork. And again, you can just see all the fantastic figures. And you can see Deadpool there. So on the hunt for Deadpool, like so many others are probably doing right now. But yeah, this line's coming along. I get to add that to my Colossus figure, and I've got Magneto in the collection now. So just a little collection of the Toy Biz 1994 onwards X-Men figures. So yeah, pretty cool, eh? So it's not just Marvel figures that I'm collecting. I'm also looking at the DC Superpowers figures, and the CVCC had a whole bunch of them. They're loose and complete loose, and I just kept finding myself going back and staring at this one figure that I hadn't seen before in person, and that was the 1986 Shazam figure in beautiful condition, but it had a price tag of $150. And I just look, I'm on holidays. I didn't really go there to spend $150 on one figure. So just so happy to see that figure in the wild, and just in such great condition. I said it at the start of the video, the CVCC, it had changed a lot since I was last there, and there was a lot of stock, especially books and old like memorabilia. And there was this one Simpsons comic book that I remember having as a kid. It brought back so much nostalgia for me. Of course, you had calendars with famous 90s pinup girl Elle Macpherson that every boy probably had back then. And then even my son was enjoying it. Like, he loved the vintage Postman Pat sort of ride-along machine that they had. So that was definitely not their last time, and a big piece to add to their collection. So the CVCC was jam-packed, and I could definitely feel the nostalgia just rolling over me. Have to give a massive shout out to Jamie, not only for being an awesome guy, letting me film, make another video for the store. He actually said to me that a few people had attended the store from seeing my last video on the CVCC. So I thought that was pretty cool, and I just wanted to say thank you to everyone that went down there after seeing my last video. But back to Jamie, amazing guy, bundled up all those toys for me, gave me a super wicked deal. So yeah, what could I say more? You guys have seen the CVCC now twice by me, and the store is just exploding with toys, exploding with nostalgia, and I can't wait to get there again. It's going to be on my list next year, probably going to be at least a yearly trip down to Canberra to see what goodies they have. So if you can get there, please. Go down, check it out, say hi to Jamie, Justin, the rest of the crew that work there, and just dive into all the toys, all the video games, all the posters, the books. There's card memorabilia, football memorabilia, there's so much down there. Just go in and enjoy the whole experience. So thank you again for watching, guys. Hope to hear from you in the comments. Hit that subscribe button, do all that good YouTube stuff for us. And until next time, Stay well. Happy hunting, everyone.